Hello everyone, welcome back to the Malbeefance channel. This is episode 9 of our series replay for Strategic Command World War II War in the Pacific, and my first ever full playthrough as the Allied forces. And with no further ado, let's go ahead and advance the turn and see what we get. The Second Battle of El Alamein begins, leading to Axis defeat in North Africa. British Empire develops naval construction level 1 that assists with supply through small ports. USA develops command and control level 1. USSR develops production technology level 2. Chinese Communist scientists report production technology up to 38%. Australia develops heavy bombers level 2. Don't know if I'll ever actually be using Australian heavy bombers, but hey, that's great. There is our ledger for the up and coming turn. All right, so there are our Japanese carriers up there around Rabaul, supporting the land offensive in New Guinea. Are we going to see any advance attempts? Something going on there with the bombers. No, they just found out we've got a British carrier near the Malaccan Straits. So that was a pretty big air battle when you take in all of the different locations. All right, so we had a push in southern China. And the invasion of the Aleutian Islands continues. I really just don't see the strategic worth of that. So I guess we got a bunch of air wings rebasing there. Fall of a 2 is a minor impact on U.S. national morale. I guess every little bit helps. And there is the RN disrupting Burma to Japan convoys. Bing Crosby singing Irving Berlin's White Christmas tops the U.S. charts. Not surprising. His voice and Irving Berlin's writing? Oh yeah. There is our activity summary for the previous turn. Alright, so for reinforcements, we have the Battleship Washington and 1st Marine Air Defense. For China, we have the 1st Chinese Fighter Wing. Now, where would be... I'm guessing down here would probably be the best place to put them, because that's where we see the majority of Japanese air activity in China. And now, Dare to Die Special Forces. Up north in the center, down south. Really don't have a lot going on down south. Might be able to use them to cause some trouble around Canton. And 2nd Cavalry Division. Use them for plugging holes in the line down here. Alright, so moving over to the U.S. West Coast. Upgrade 7th Marines. Get 6th Marines on the way. Did not mean to pull out that far. Anybody else able to go? Yep. Keep a little bit of distance from the Gilberts in case they've got maritime bombers stationed there. All right, anybody? Yep. Now, anybody else? I still want to keep that anti-aircraft unit there just in case. All right, so my carriers are now close enough to where they can engage in combat operations. So let's go ahead and have a look. I was going to say, let's see what's in and around the Eastern Solomans. And so there we go. The light cruiser Abakuma is sunk. Get a little bit of repair work on my submarine there. Oh! Who do we have there? The Akagi herself. Flagship of the Kirubutai. That was a bad call. Oh, who do we run into? North Carolina slugs it out with Yamato and does some heavy damage. Nevada finishes off the Yamato. Yeehaw, Bean. Alright, so we will have Enterprise. See if they can finish off the Akagi. Interceptors from where? From Akagi herself, I'm guessing. Nope, don't let her get away. Alright, Hornet. Can you finish the job? There we go, the Akagi is sunk. Alright, I don't want to leave Hornet hanging like that. See if we can get out there to cover for her. Way to go, Hornet. And hopefully that way Saratoga's fighters, hopefully they can cover Hornet. Alright, fantastic. Alright, so let's go ahead and get a few folks out on the water. Get a few of these Marine Corps divisions out on the water. start heading them towards Guadalcanal. So we got a headquarters unit, some armor, and some artillery to help out the Marines on Guadalcanal. Get these guys repaired. Have some escorts out here to help. Uh-oh. Submarine. Oh, can we get her? Yes. Awesome. All right, while I can, I'm going to have these units fall back to repair, and then I'll have all the rest of these to come up and help cover for the invasion. He still can't get in there. That's all right. He's fine right where he is. He's preventing Port Moresby from getting outflanked. All right, so that's overall the naval battle over the last couple of episodes down here around the Solomons. That has actually been good for us. And yeah, we've lost a battleship, heavy cruiser. I think we've lost a couple other ships, but you're looking at, what is it now? 4 Japanese battleships have been sunk, um, including the Yamato, and now we've got the fleet carrier Akagi. So that's a big victory. Keep an eye on the Gulf here, making sure no Japanese forces are trying to slip in from Indonesia. All right, so now I got to get that British submarine out of there. Excuse me. They've been taking some heavy damage. How are we doing for supply among the British fleet? They're actually pretty good, except for the repulse here. So, and resupply and repair at the same time. We'll leave the destroyer out there to continue with interdiction. And they'll be getting some help next turn. Now, I believe I've got to get more garrisons for the UK. All right, so we have the 2 there. I know I got to put somebody in Calcutta. And I got to get somebody up there at Peshawar. All right. So I need 2 more garrisons for the UK. Let me go ahead, do that right now. Unfortunately, that cleans them out. Not much left. Hang on, before I do that. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, thank you. All right, that'll put a little bit of a kibosh on that mini offensive. All right, so I got to relocate him. I don't want to, but I have to. So let's do this. At least that way I know he's within General Hutton's command and control envelope. As much as I would like to. Oh, there we go. Maybe they can take him out. Yes. All right, so the Chinese bombers went ahead and took out that unit. That was very helpful. If they go ahead and they keep those bombers there, maybe next turn these guys will have enough movement points they can move over here and attack directly. All right, so in the meantime, let's go ahead and reinforce the guys that are in the worst shape. Start closing up all these holes in my line. And I realize that Japanese forces don't have a lot of units out here to be able to take advantage of some of these holes, but I can't count on that. Right now, pretty much the main job of the Chinese armies are to hold the line. And yeah, I'll take advantage where I can, like this exposed bomber air wing. as soon as I'm able to. But for the most part, I just want them to hold the line and basically tie down um, Japanese ground forces. All right, so we got anybody else? Yes. Now I could send the American submarine to help out pretty much anywhere. Who is that anyway? That is the Holland. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and have them come over to help out with here in the Solomons and New Guinea. See if I can't basically just overwhelm Japanese forces in this area. Either that or turn it into a meat grinder for their navy, like we've already been doing. So speaking of which, let me have a look. So 17 naval units so far. What have we accounted for? So one submarine. The Akagi is the one carrier that we got. 6 destroyers, 2 light cruisers, 4 heavy cruisers, 2 battleships, and the Yamato. Not bad. All right, so I think that is going to do it for operational movement and combat. Looks like it. All right, so research. Let's start down under first. Command and control, improve that. So it improves the number of units that the headquarters can coordinate for, and it also improves um, supply distribution. You can read all that right here when I'm moused over command and control. So then it goes ahead and it puts the information down there in the bottom left-hand corner of the pop-up screen, in case you hadn't already known that. All right, we'll bank the rest. I mean, I know I can use it for naval construction, but we're going to bank the rest. I need to start buying more Australian units. All right, so moving on to the Communist Chinese. I want to save that up, get them going for level 2 infantry weapons next turn. Do the same thing with Nationalist China. All right, so the Russians. All right, production technology. And unfortunately, that only leaves them with 63. There's nothing else I can do there. All right, moving on to the Americans. They have got 255 available. So I know I could hit production technology again, but let me get some other stuff going. They just got started on command and control level 2. They're about to hit infantry weapons, or infantry warfare, I mean. Advanced tanks is one of the ones that, oh, they've only got 95 left, so I ain't going to be doing anything here. Okay. And then UK's only got 37 left, so nothing I can do there. All right, well, I don't think there's anything I can purchase. I already spent for the Empire. America can get some more garrisons out there. Let me do that. I can put them out on the single hex islands, the small islands, and that way I'll have something there defending them. I only want to buy big units for the Soviet Union. They don't need garrisons or anything like that right now. Save up for those 2 guys. And Australia doesn't have enough. All right. Okay, so that is going to do it for this turn. Let's go ahead and advance the turn. See what kind of a response we get down here for the loss of the Akagi. Vessels in the slot are impeding the flow of supplies to Guadalcanal. Exactly what I want in preparation for the island invasion. USSR prepares for war. Okay, color me shocked. Wingate Chindits deploy ready for action. Communist partisan activity in China. Former Republican presidential candidate Wendell Willkie visits Chongqing. Allied landings in West Africa prompt an Axis invasion of Tunisia. So that would be Operation Torch. Germany occupies Vichy, France. British Empire develops artillery weapons, level 1. Develops command and control, level 1. USA develops naval weaponry, level 1. Thank you. That'll be helpful. Scientists report progress in advanced subs up to 29%. USA develops infantry warfare, level 1. We saw that coming. And submarine warfare development up to 76% for the next level. USSR infantry weapons development up to 76%. Ground attack weapons now at level 1. Mobility up to 36%. Infantry weapons up to 75% for Australia. Infantry warfare up to 36%. There's our ledger for the next turn. So the computer has moved Japanese forces out of Manchuria to the point where they're not properly garrisoning the area anymore, and that is leading to the USSR entering the war. U.S. troops land in North Africa. All right, there's one carrier, there's two. So we still got a pair of carriers there off of Rabaul. So the USSR entering the war is kind of a mixed bag. They don't have a lot of units up there, but it still winds up stretching Japanese forces that much further. So I consider it a net benefit, but it's going to be a question as to how much I can take advantage of it. All right, so we got a lot of movement going on in mainland China. Not unsurprising. The USSR joins the Allies in the East. Partisan activity in China. And the RN still disrupting convoys from Burma to Japan. Allied governments signed the United Nations Declaration calling for complete victory over the Axis. All right, so there's our activity summary. All right, so no reinforcements, no more information update. So back over to the U.S. coast. Upgrade Battleship Washington. Get the Marines out on the water. Get them on their way. All right, let me move him out of the way first. Oh, nuts. That's right. We got naval weaponry level 1. Oh, all of my U.S. ships. Now, I'll update who I can, but I'm not going to stop my invasion operation. All right, so how do we want to do this? Obviously, we should scout the whole place out first. We know we got one unit sitting in the capital. We don't know what else we've got out here. But before I get any further distracted, let's do this. Where is... There they are. I'll protect that port a little bit too. All right, so is Hornet still set for bombers? Yes, they are. All right, in that case, let's go check it out. Oh, too far away. There we go. All right, so it looks like it's just the one unit. All right. Got the two carriers covering the fleet. Shore bombardment shows there's nobody there. Scout ahead with the submarine. Pull back some of these damaged guys. Maybe, maybe not. So somehow I got to be able to grab that port as quickly as possible. Now, luckily, there's nobody at Henderson Field, and it doesn't look like there's anybody at Kirakira. Uh-oh. Now, where is... There we go. MacArthur can't reach. It's all right. One turn delay isn't going to unravel everything. Get these guys upgraded while I can. I'm debating if I want to change Enterprise back to bombers. I will save that for next turn. I'll have the carriers work together to go ahead and bomb Cocoon there to help with the attack onto the capital. In the meantime, go ahead and cover for the carriers. Now I'm hoping that there isn't going to be anybody in Boone, and I'll go ahead and I'll land one of these guys there. And that'll pretty much cut off Guadalcanal. Now, do I want to do forward defense? No, because he's going to be up there pretty much by himself. So in that case, let's go ahead and link him up with the rest of the fleet. Together they can be escort for this guy. And you are just in time. Keep an eye out, make sure there's nothing coming down from Rabaul. I know I got those two carriers in this area here. We'll see what happens. I'm not ready to go after them yet. But I have a feeling that the landing on Guadalcanal is going to cause a response. We'll see what happens. Get everything I can over here ready for that response. If they don't, then I can go ahead and I can push up closer to New Britain. See if I can't track down them carriers. And also outflank the situation here in New Guinea. All right, so I think that's going to do it for this side of the map. Looks like it. All right, I just pulled him into port for that upgrade. All right. All right, so the British fleet. They just got into port last turn. Oh, hang on. Okay, yeah, they're already, all right. Oh, not enough. Good. I'll just move him a little bit further away. So that is our big push in Burma. All right, so there's a headquarters. There's always possibility somebody's down here too. But if that's their only headquarters, that would explain why they're having such a hard time keeping these guys supplied. Alright, I am not going to push forward here. Now, are they the fighters? Yes. So move them in. So not a lot of offensive options up here in northern China, but I have a feeling that we'll see the Japanese forces go more onto the defensive because of this situation right here. Now the question becomes, how do I want to do this? Oh, wait. Hang on. I thought they joined the Allies. Alright, hang on a second. Let's see what's going on there. So why are we not? Yeah, 100%. Alright, I'm unsure what's going on there. Maybe I can't move in until next turn, I don't know. Alright. Well, we'll figure it out. Alright, gotta get the Chindits out here. And with that, I do believe we are done with operational movement and combat for this turn. So, right, moving into research and development. UK only has 6 points left. United States. Longer range aircraft. Anti-air defense. I want logistics coming out our ears. That leaves 39. All right, Russia. Actually, do I have enough? No, I don't. All right, I'm not going to spend any of Russia's so that I can get them another HQ. So we got enough for China to finally get research started on level 2 weapons. I'm going to hang on to the remaining 175 so that we can go ahead and get somebody out there. Probably would be best. Get another air defense unit out there. Because they don't have much in the way of air force for the Chinese. So I got to find some way of making up for that. Alright, Communist Chinese can get started on level 2 weapons. That leaves 49. Nothing they can do there. And the Australians, I could double up on production technology. Oh, naval weaponry, definitely. All right, that only leaves them 36. All right, so that is going to do it for this turn and also for this episode. As always, thank you very much for tuning in. If you've made it this far, please leave a like, drop a comment, helps grow the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you know whenever we upload videos. If you know somebody that likes this sort of content, please share it with them. And once again, thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.